Ratios, rates, and unit rates. Today is October 19th, 2020. You all welcome back. Here is our blast from the past. It is on complex fractions. So let's make sure that we have our volume up and let's review.
12 divided by 9. It's the same thing as 3 12 divided by 9. So when I divide, it will be 3 12s times, what is the reciprocal of 9 as a whole number? You know, all whole numbers can be made into a fraction. How do we make 9 into a fraction? Well, 1 is the denominator, right? So now I need to do the reciprocal of 9 over 1, which will give me 1/9. I can see that I can easily take this and reduce it by finding roots of 1 by dividing. 3 12s are going to keep the same, times I can decompose this 1/9 into 3 times 3. I look for ways that I can make roots of 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. In my numerator, I am left with 1. And in my denominator, I am left with 1 with 12 times 3. Final answer will be 1. 12 times 3 is 36. That is my final answer.
Yes. It is always good, you all. It is always good to review. So that was our blast from the past on complex fractions. We actually talked about that last week, and we're actually going to need that for this upcoming lesson. In this upcoming lesson, here are our learning targets. I can compute unit rates from real-world situations. I can form unit rates with fractions, and I can also compute unit rates with unlike fractions. So our unit this time, we're going to talk about ratios, rates, and unit rates. And right now, some of it should look familiar with you from 6th grade. However, we will go over this today as well as the upcoming days. So if you are not familiar, don't worry. I have you. We will work on continuing this. So here it is now time for some action. All right, so get your notebooks, get your pencils ready. We are going to hop right into this, okay? So we have these 3 terms that we're going to define today, and I want you all to make sure that you understand that when it's time to do vocabulary, I don't want you all to continue to just go to Google and copy and paste, because it doesn't always necessarily make that connection piece for you. So it's important that you use the terms that we have in class. Or you can go to Google or mathdictionary.com, but try to paraphrase it and reword it in your own words. The first thing we're going to talk about is a ratio. Then we're going to talk about rates. And then we're going to finish this conversation off with unit rates. So a ratio is a relationship between 2 numbers. Please feel free to pause the video if you need to write it down. But I'll also give you examples, right? So a ratio is a relationship between 2 numbers. You should be familiar with this from 6th grade. But if not, such as 13 to 4. You can also rewrite that using words, right? And if you want to use words to represent that, you can just simply say 13 to 4. And as a fraction, it will be 13 to 4. 3 different ways that you can represent ratios. So a rate is when you compare 2 different units. That's what a rate is, when you compare 2 different units. So I know you all see behind me, you see the Dorito signs, right? So with that, they have these new Doritos called Tangy Pickles. And with the Tangy Pickle Doritos, right, the Tangy Pickle Doritos, they are 2 for $5. That is what we consider a rate because they are 2 for $5. So when we have that, you can write that as 2 for $5. But in terms of rate, you will actually put $5 per 2 bags. Okay? Or $5 for 2 bags. Okay? Now, if I don't want, because I don't know about this Tangy Doritos, you all. I don't know about these Tangy Doritos. It's something new. And yes, they're 2 for $5 for a nice size bag, but I don't want to necessarily go and get 2 because what happens if I don't like them? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the cashier and say, hey, can you tell me the price for 1? I just want 1 bag, and if I like it, maybe I'll come and get 2 more. But for now, I just want 1 bag. How much is 1 bag? So when the cashier calculates, she say, you know what? In order to get the 2 for $5, you must get 2. However, 1 bag, it is $3 for 1 bag. So that's what we call a unit rate. So a unit rate is per 1. You can also say that a unit rate is for a single unit. Okay. And in this case, if I just want 1 bag of Doritos, the lady is going to tell me that it is $3 because I didn't get 2 to get the deal. So she's going to say $3 per bag. And notice that on this, you did not see where it said per 1 bag, but because it says per bag, it is understood that that is 1 for 1 bag. So that's also written as a fraction, $3 per 1 bag. $3 per 1 bag. That is a ratio, rate, and unit rate. The next thing I want to do is I want to do a flashcard sort. Just really quick, you all. And I'm going to hold up some flashcards, and I want you all to tell me if the following cards would be whether it's a rate, whether it's a unit rate, okay? A rate or a unit rate. Remember, a unit rate is per 1 single unit. So that's what you can look for. 6 snowballs in 1 minute. Is that a unit rate or is that a rate? It is a unit rate, right? Because of the 1 minute. 1 minute is per 1. It's a single unit. How about 5 laps in 5 minutes? Is that a rate or a unit rate? That's a rate. 11 tissues per 2 sick people. Rate or unit rate? Rate. Now this one always get people, right? $1 for 2 apples. Is that a rate or a unit rate? Oh, so many students say that as a unit rate because they see the 1 for $1, but that's actually a rate because what we're comparing is in the denominator. That's for 2 apples. Now, if it said for 1 apple, then yes, that would be a unit rate, but in this case, it is simply a rate. So we're going to take a few moments and now practice what we learned. We are going to hop right into a Kahoot. So go ahead and get your devices out, get your devices ready, and we're going to practice rate and unit rate. All right, so now that that game has ended, wow, the students, you all really got competitive on that. So here's the same slide that we saw in the beginning when we were talking about ratio, rates, and unit rates. But if you notice, a ratio is when you have the relationship between 2 numbers, okay, such as 4 to 3. A rate is when you compare 2 different units, such as miles and hours. But if you look at the unit rate, that one is also miles per hour, but that's per one. All right, so that's the difference between ratio rate and unit rate. Here are our learning targets. Please stop and put your first and last name in the chat box in order to receive participation points. You all are amazing. I want you all to know that this is the start of a brand new quarter. So I want you all to try your absolute best to make the goal to do something different so you can get a grade that's different. Even if you got an A, you can aim for a higher A. If you got a B, you can aim for A. If you got a D, you can aim for a C or a B. It is possible, but remember, if you continue to do the exact same thing you've been doing, you'll get the exact same results you've been getting. All right? So with that said, thank you all. I cannot wait to see you next week, and have a great day.